guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 11:31 a.m.
Okay, my neighbour went out upstairs with a Wrangler top on. I've been texted this morning by a couple of people. I tried a different site. Okay, I tried Plenty of Fish. I don't want to be single all my life and on my own, so I tried the site Plenty of Fish. And the same people are on there as on Facebook dating. And I'm going round and round in circles again with the same people doing the same stuff. So I'm not going to find a date off a dating site. I've tried, okay? I haven't had a partner I was divorced in 2008. I haven't been able to get a long-term partner since. Okay, every time I go on a dating site, it's the same people mucking about. And when somebody was texting me off Plenty of Fish, I had a call from a lady at the Medway Maritime Hospital. Crystal, are you still going to your appointment on Sunday? I said, no, I don't feel well. I've woken up with a sore throat, a cold. My son felt hot in this flat, so the heating was not on in my flat for about 5 hours, right up until 12:30 last night. He was in his shorts and his t-shirt and he felt cold, and he felt hot, sorry. I was freezing cold, so I've woken up this morning with sinus pain and a sore throat because he bless him was boiling hot. I was freezing cold. We're different ages. I mean, my son's in his 20s, I'm 54, so he was boiling hot and I was freezing cold. I've woken up with a cold this morning. I've got a sore throat. I really don't feel very well, and that woman asked me if I was still going to that scan on Sunday, and I said no, I'm not, because I don't feel in the mood for it. I don't feel very well. And if it was that urgent, they wouldn't have postponed it for 6 weeks. They would have postponed it for a few days, but they're leaving it 6 weeks. So it can't be that life-threatening, can it? So, speaking to a guy calling himself Anthony this morning off Plenty of Fish. It's the same people mucking about. And I had somebody, I'll be blatantly honest, somebody asked me yesterday, would I go with a woman? Would I, Crystal, go with a woman? I said no. No way. Right, so I went out after receiving messages from Plenty of Fish. And yesterday I told somebody on Plenty of Fish that I've got a pen pal called Kevin. I've got a pen pal called Kevin. He's in Scotland. And we sometimes communicate on the phone. He is from Scotland. I've had this friend for several years. I used to speak to Kevin at Lansdowne Court on my mobile. We're just pen pals. So you know what happens this morning? I go out walking Max on the lead, and there's a girl with a bobble hat, a knitted bobble hat. Kevin! Kevin! And this dog called Kevin runs off the lead. He's off his lead. She lets her dog run in the road, considering it's icy and there's cars coming across the road. That dog could have got knocked over. It ran over, sniffed Max's bottom and buggered off. Of course she couldn't come over and get it. It was icy. She couldn't run over and get the dog because there was icy on the road. She looked such an idiot. Kevin! Kevin! And the dog runs after Max in the middle of a road. I don't know what's going on. It's ridiculous. People are being silly. How can you be jealous over a pen pal somebody's got? I mean, really? So let's go back to what happened to me. I've told you what happened at Lansdowne Court. On one occasion, my dad took me, his daughter, to Stable Cottages on holiday. It was between Grain and Who. If anybody knows the Medway area, there's places called Grain and Who. And before Dad took me to Stable Cottages, he would go to Prince's Park Morrison's. Morrison's, the supermarket in Prince's Park. On this occasion, before he drove me to Stable Cottages, Dad asked me to pick his mobile phone up because while he was driving, his mobile phone went off. And this young lady answered, not unlike the woman that called me from the hospital. "Can I speak to Gareth, please? Gary? Can I speak to Gareth?" I said, "I'm with my dad in the car. Who's Gareth?" "Yeah, the guy who booked the holiday at Stable Cottages." And Dad then took the phone off of me. So this girl was asking for Gareth. My dad used to call himself Peter as well. Peter. So Dad took me to Stable Cottages in Who. After this girl had rung asking for Gareth. Look funny, doesn't it? He used to take me into the supermarket. On this occasion I wasn't well and I fell over. Members of staff didn't raise an eyebrow or anything. I actually fell over in the store. Dad took the shopping, went in the car, drove me to Who? To Stable Cottages, very posh place. The woman had a 14-year-old daughter and she owned a stable and horses. And a lot of the workers were Polish, young Polish people. There was a young Polish girl there showing me baby rabbits, little baby rabbits and baby chicks. Dad booked me and him into this like a little chalet cottage type place, and I didn't want to sleep with my father. I didn't want to do it. So I put him off, and I went. I'm going to have a bath. So I had a bath, and my dad was banging on the door. "What you doing? Get out! I want you in here." So I rushed out of the bath, got dressed, and that's my phone playing up. Basically, he said, "Come into the bedroom." I said, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And there was a flashing light in the kitchen, like an alarm, but it could have been a camera. Maybe they were filming porn in there, I don't know. So there was this red light in the kitchen. And my dad said, "Let me touch your tits then. Just let me feel your breasts." And I just wanted my dad off of me any way I could. Any woman that's being abused, if you're frightened of somebody, like they could kill you, strangle you, beat you to death, and you've called the police and they've done nothing in the past, because they never did at all. So I lifted up my top, he touched my tits, put me top down, and he buggered off. And he wasn't happy with me, and I wasn't happy being there, and I just didn't want to be in that position. It was like there was a camera filming my dad feeling my tits, and I felt so degraded and sick. And girls all the time ringing my dad up, "Can I speak to Gareth?" Bitches. I didn't know what was going on, who my dad was communicating with. He was obviously watching things on the internet, talking to people that I didn't know about, and I was being manipulated, used as a sex toy. And this Stable Cottages was posh, very posh. And when I was I went back to Lansdowne Court. with my dad, and who was coming back to Lansdowne Court with me regularly, with my mum staying at Victoria Road. She never came with us. She never did. I'd asked her to, but she wouldn't come. She refused. Why, I don't know. Because you're supposed to protect and look after your children. But I don't feel my mum ever attempted to. So a guy called Gareth moved into the flats. A guy called Gareth moved in the flats next door to me. After this woman had called my dad Gareth. There was a Gareth, and it's short for Gary, and my dad was abusing me. So who were they